Yorushka, we are back continuing our track by track listen through to the second person album, and I can't believe we are so near to the end already. So today we're listening to a song, the kanji I recognized, but I didn't know how to pronounce it altogether. Checked it, and apparently it's Getsuko Yoku. Basically means moonlight bath, which just immediately means another one of these super atmospheric songs we're going to get here. By the way, talking of atmosphere, I'm in a hotel in Taiwan. I've been changing hotel virtually every day because of like money and stuff and just hopping around. And if you're wondering why my voice is like this, yes, it's it's being a bit heavy on my voice, but it's not hurting. Don't worry, I've got these little things. Don't worry, this is not an advert. These are just, you probably can't get these in your country anyway, but they're helping me. It doesn't hurt, it just sounds like it does. Anyway, so I'm going to take advantage of this wonderful jazzy voice and do a little bit of presenting. Anyway, so it's also probably why you can hear the air conditioner. I'm going to dry the air whilst do that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm really excited to see what we get from this one. I record, as you know, I record these track by tracks in little sessions. And it's been a few days since I did the last Yorushko song. I'm actually kind of like looking forward to this. So I went back and had a little re-listen to the last couple of songs, things like Woodpecker, Hitchcock, and just kind of reminded myself of how much I've been enjoying this album. As always, when I get to the end, I'm going to be looking forward to the fact that when I finish this, although I'll be sad to have completed the album, I will be able to then go back and listen to the whole album in single sittings and just enjoy it and get to have a bit more time to live with it. And of course, we'll be moving on to next. We're going to check out Yorushka's debut album. But anyway, I'm talking too much about other stuff. Should we get into this song? No idea what to expect. It has got a music video, which is always a great thing to see because it means we get to see a little bit more of the interpretation. But let's check this one out. Oh, I think I might have missed the first second. Let's be fair. Here we go.
あなたの足が月を蹴った白い砂が宿うみたいだあなたは気づいているんだろうか波の向こうに何かあったそれが何かわからなかった少し寂しい
That's a nice build up.
出して
That is a very 90s alt rock way to go into the chorus. That was a rather interesting impact. I like that, but you really caught me off guard. I was expecting like a pre-chorus. Nice.
夜の海を二人歩いた月のたばかしさめみたいだあなたは気づいているんだろうか岩の隙間に何かあったそれが何かわからなかった少し
I'm loving just the rhythm and the way the piano is bouncing in between everything. Oh, it's such a good verse, but it's so brief and then oh, that's your pre-chorus. That
出して 月の中を生きる日々を月人誰かが言った月の中で過ごす僕らいわば結構よくだろうか波を待つ月をまたぐ体は宿うみたいに
That's very pretty.
白く出して 忘れて出して
such a beautiful chorus. And it's so simple, but I'll get on to why that works in a minute.
僕らの足が水を蹴った背びれが光って揺らめいた僕らは泳いでいるんだろうか魚の僕は息を吸ったあなたもようやく気がついた月が眩しい
That little click at the end was really good. Okay, there is a lot of things to break down in this one. A lot. I mean, from the get-go, we could talk about how it sort of moves along from section to section, but I think what's more important here is just the overall effect of this song. What it goes for, I really like, because obviously the song is all very much anchored around how it gets you to that chorus. And that chorus, as simple as it is, it's just a pure cathartic. I mean, it's just the one note, really powerful, kind of, well, more than one note, but that one held thing going powerful, can't sing with this voice. And, just holding on like that. It's that long sustain that makes the chorus so grand. And then, as I said, the background, the instrumentation, everything from like the strumming acoustic to the semi-rock fit, it kind of had, it immediately, almost viscerally reminded me of what I would describe as 90s sort of female alt-rock, I'm thinking, sorry about the examples, but I'm thinking of everything from like Alanis Morissette to Natalie Imbruglia. I could probably pick better examples, but that kind of style, that's what the chorus felt like it was very much doing. And love it or hate it, that is a style of music which was all about very sort of powerful but not overly heavy choruses. Choruses that were more about sort of anthemic and with an emotional depth to them. Something that female singers are often kind of associated with, especially in that kind of sphere. And this is what that's what I really got from this chorus. The question is though, how does it get to that point? And that was for me was what's really interesting, because having a powerful and cathartic chorus, well, having a powerfully catchy chorus or a cathartic chorus or any sort of chorus that works as a payoff only really has any weight if you manage to bring the audience to that chorus and make it actually feel like it's worth something. If you just kind of like, if the verses and everything are just kind of this arbitrary space while you wait for the chorus to happen, just sort of chorus waiting rooms, that is not really rewarding. You might still enjoy the chorus, but it just doesn't quite have as much purpose, and I think it detracts from re-listens as well. What makes this so good is the fact that the verses, I mean, they're so minimal. It's just kind of that acoustic picking. I mean, very much you could say in line with most of the rest of this album. Real minimalist stuff, picking on the guitars. Really love that sort of cajon beat, which is just, it was so fun how that was sparse, but it was one of those typical beats that if you give someone a cajon and they sit down and play it, they'll start just by playing normal 4/4 beats, and then after a moment, this is the kind of that beat with the sort of delayed kicks, kick, snare, kick, snare. It's the kind of thing that everyone starts to intuitively play after they've been sitting jamming on a cajon for like 2 minutes. So I really liked that. It had a kind of an intuitive fun to it, but it was also, again, like the guitar, very sparse. And just the feeling that everything in the verse was fun but sparse. It kind of kept you really engaged. Every note from the guitar, every bit of vocal, every hit on the cajon, all really gave you this sense of mattering in the verse. And then obviously the chorus comes in and it's all about everything just becoming this one big blast. That to me is a really good way of building you up for it. But of course what definitely made that transition work the best was that really fun delay where they get to the last note of the verse, and rather than the pre-chorus, you just have the last note of the verse hold out for a bit longer than you expect, and longer and longer and longer. And I need to go back and check, but I think the delay between the last note of the verse and the chorus dropping was different each time. I think it was a different length each time. Obviously, it's the sort of thing where if you re-listen to the song over and over again, you'll memorize how long those gaps are, but that won't make it any less fun. It's kind of like people who remember the intro for Eye of the Tiger, and everyone knows that one bit where the beats held a little bit longer in the intro riff. Everyone knows that bit. I was like that. You memorize it. It doesn't make it any less fun. It just kind of makes it part of the song. So I really liked everything about that. But one of the things that worked as well is, of course, if that's your thing, you know, delicate verse, delay, and then chorus, everything drops in. There's only so many times you can repeat that. So the bridge can often be a little bit of a difficult sell. Like, how do you go about the bridge? Do you keep the bridge loud and in keeping with the chorus, and then swing back to the last chorus even bigger? Or do you try and go back for something more minimalist again, knowing that you're kind of repeating the same effect that you've already done in the first two verses, and so it's almost impossible for it to have as much impact a third time round? And of course, this is being that a bridge is usually, in the standard song structure like this, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, the bridge is usually supposed to ramp you up so that the last chorus can have more impact than the first two. It can be the biggest impact, it can be the crescendo. I think they went for an interesting choice here. They went minimalist again, but you really felt that the bass came in and did something interesting. Because it must be said, there's no bass in the verses. I need to check the second verse. I don't think there was any bass in the second verse. I'm trying to remember now. The choruses had bass, but the bass was rather just chugging the chords. Wasn't really doing much. But then the bass became very active in the bridge. So I felt like they went back to a minimalist style, but the bass added a lot of character to that. The piano was very beautiful in this. Again, very sparse, but the piano involvement built up throughout the song. And so realistically, although we are going quiet, loud, quiet, loud, quiet, loud as the structure of this song, the third time, well, throughout all of that, the involvement of the bass throughout the song is gradually becoming more involved, and the involvement of the piano is gradually becoming more involved, and those are actually the ways that I think the song managed to really ramp up from beginning to an end, which stopped it sounding too much like it was just repeat, was by having the bass and the piano increase their involvement. So although that's very background, I mean, you're definitely noticing it, but it's kind of background. You're not really consciously thinking of it in the same way you're thinking of the song going between verse and chorus. It is definitely a build-up over the length of the song that you do notice, and subconsciously, and I think helps the song feel like it's going in a direction, building to a crescendo rather than just repeating. So yeah, personally, I really enjoyed this. I thought it was great. I'd be interested to know how I feel about this after re-listens. Certainly was one of the most impactful, catchy. As a single, as an album track, I'm going to be interested to know how I feel about this when I come back to listen to it. As just a single to be listened to in isolation, yeah, this is one of my favourites. I really like this. I just think it's punchy, it's got a clear remit, and it hits the ball out of the park. I'm really just kind of giving you an emotional punch. It is the sort of song where I do wonder how I'd feel about it, because like some of the other songs on the album maybe don't have the immediate appeal, but definitely have more of a like almost I guess you'd say the timeless quality. But I like this. I definitely like this. I would definitely come back to listen to this in isolation, and I'll be very interested to know how I feel about it on the album upon repeat listens. But anyway, so the next song actually, I did listen to this. I did a reaction to this one before the album came out. It's Chidori, isn't it? Chidori. So that means we're going straight on to the penultimate track next. Oh, I'm kind of sad. Anyway, well, hopefully you'll join me for that one, and we can listen to that together. But until we do, thank you so much for being here today. My voice will recover until it does. For now, ciao, ciao.